Duh, langsung oleh.
'Your turn to ban. 5 seconds remaining.
Sniper.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Sarul kena apa? Sarul kena apa kok prai main? Aku kurang di mic ya.
Prepare for battle. Thirty seconds to battle. The battle begins.
Loh, loh, kok sepi? Loh. Wah, malah ke
We're going. My mind is exploding with ideas.
年轻人的操作。
Let's go. Goes nothing.
Your bottom tower is under attack.
Off we go. Hope this works.
Storm doors in place. Dire structures are fortified. fallen.
Off we go! Woohoo! Set. Whee! Huh?
Your middle tower is Look lively now. Your middle tower is under attack. Whether accidentally or on purpose, radiant structures have been fortified. Your middle tower is under attack. May the sky itself weep for your fallen middle tower.
Aw, just look at it.
structures are fortified. Sunbeams all around.
Not yet.
Бей, бей, просто что? Бей, бей, просто что? It's not time yet.
Double kill.
Turn this tide to our advantage.
What was that?
I didn't see anything. Here.
Бей, бей, просто что?
Fresh meat.
Face. Planted.
Come on! Let's go.
这大概是游戏里的操作。
No, wait, no.
Your middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. They must have seen dark clouds on the horizon. Your middle tower is under attack. Lively now. Your middle tower is under attack. What are you, amateurs? Your bottom tower. Enemies. Look lively now. Your middle tower is under attack. How disappointing.
Let's go.
Your middle tower is under attack. Your middle tower is under attack. Look lively now. Your middle tower is under attack. How disappointing. Look lively now. Your middle tower is under attack. How disappointing. Your middle tower is under attack. Your middle tower is under attack. How disappointing.
Let's go penalty.
Even forcing Miero to use a refresher, and he manages to get the kill. I love to see the gelling between the team. I feel like Enigma Galaxy right now are extremely hungry to win this whole TI.
Yeah, I think winning 2 elimination series as well, and whilst they went quite long, it felt like the games that they did win were just very dominating, and that lone druid pick being somewhat of a specialty for them too, no one else picking it up. But Jenkins, I haven't heard from you exactly which team is going to win in your eyes.
So I was spending a lot of time during the group stage watching player perspectives. Right? I was trying to get into like how does Satanic, for example, like how does he farm? How is he always top of net worth? And I saw a little kill that to me really represented like a champion mindset from this kid, because my question was like, in front of a crowd, can he perform? So there was a kill that I watched where he killed GPK solo, completely solo. And like the way that you have to think about this, the way that I would think about this is, imagine you're Satanic, right? For your entire life of playing Dota, GPK has been good. Like this guy is the Eastern European mid that even when his team is not good, he is still good in carrying his team. Like that name bears a lot of weight in that region. And in that clip, Satanic uses his BKB at the last frame before the enchant totem hits the ground. And he had a Kaya and Yasha, right? So it's not like there's some amount of time, like there's 25% less time in the cast time there. He's like calculating that. He has the instincts for that. Like this is insane to me. Like to kill a core in Dota is very difficult. To kill a core at TI in Dota is even more difficult solo. To kill GPK of all people, this is insane to me.
Yeah, it's phenomenal to see. That question still pertains, right? Because there's only a handful of times we've seen people come into their very first TI and win it. So
there's some notable names there, yeah. You know,
Sure.
you got the Thompsons of the world. We'll see with him. Because I do think that the team around him is playing really well. They're actually doing a lot of things that Extreme Gaming are doing when it comes to team fighting, where they take very interesting fights. I remember seeing one clip where P-Vision, they were like 3v5 at the Roche pit. I saw no one epicenter, BKB, jump into the Roche pit, instantly TP out. And it's one of those things that as a Dota player, you're like, what is he doing? Why would you BKB TP? Boom, 9 class steals the Aegis. They trade 1 for 1. They don't lose the game because they got the Aegis in this play. And it's like, somebody made this call to take a fight, but not really take the fight, right? It's something which is like, if you're a more skilled Dota player, it's kind of complicated to do. It's not just committing or not committing. It's like some gray area in between. So in terms of fighting, I think P-Vision is exceptional as well. They're on the level of Extreme Gaming right now.
I feel like it really plays there for them, the story around them. But I do think that it is fair for people to have those questions. It's first times. It's going to be first times out on the stage as well for a lot of those players. 3 of them, in fact. But there's players that are veterans here. There's players that have won before. We're going to have a look at exactly who are still multiple TI winner hopefuls for us after having such a cutthroat road to the international. We say goodbye to 8 teams and also a lot of 2-time hopefuls. So right now, Tidebound, Tundra, Enigma Galaxy, and Falcons, they're the only team that have potential 2-timers, Lacoste.
Yeah, this is very interesting. You can see, the old Tundra squad as well, Skeeter, Snaking, and Saxa being on the same team. You see the combination between Team Liquid, the EG with the Sumail. The King is back. The uncrowned King is back as well. Ame, he wants the crown. But yeah, also the Chinese players as well. I'd say they've been very hungry. Last time they won TI was TI6. OG kind of had to ruin it because we had West, then we had Chinese team winning. OG, we were too good at the time, kind of ruined the perfect sequence that we did have. But yeah, I could definitely see somebody being crowned again as a TI champion.
Yeah, well, there is still one person as well that could potentially be our very first 3-time TI winner. That's, of course, 33. He's still left in the tournament. All of our other potential 3-peats were unfortunately eliminated when we had to say goodbye to both Aurora and Spirit there.
Yeah, hope the stars align for him. I can't wait to ask if he's going to change his nickname to 333.
I love
Oh, you think you should have another one?
I love that this is just Spirit and 33. Like, essentially, this is the 2-time Spirit. It's so funny.
No, it is. It's a lot of fun to look at it when you see it there. And it was really sad to have to say goodbye to the potential of getting more competition of the repeats, right? It was nice to see such a full graphic of those 3-timers that could have been, but they weren't playing up to par. Of course, we had to say goodbye to them, which I think it's a mix of fan favorites, but also kind of player favorites. Everyone thought Spirit were coming in really strong, and
Yeah, I think we had like 70% of the people predicting that Team Spirit is going to be winning TI, and guess what? You people were wrong, so were I, because they looked way too good coming into TI. This is the squad that we talked about being one of the most resilient teams in the world when they're trying to close out the game against Team Spirit, but something just didn't click. I didn't feel them being as hungry, and some small mistakes were definitely made, but I'm sure this team will bounce back.
Yeah, they like lost their last 6 matches in a row or something before getting
not what happens usually.
No,
it's really surprising because the patch kind of feels like it's going to favor their kind of play style. They are very similar to Extreme Gaming where they play for the late game, they're really good in team fights, and not doing well here is really very, very hard to take, if you're a Team Spirit fan.
To be fair, not to make excuses for, the previous TI winners, but like Spirit and Liquid, the way that they got eliminated in their series, like the first game, both games went over 60 minutes. And I understand that's happening a lot these days, but like the games are very close. I think the level of competition has just never been higher in this game.
I would agree with that, but also the way that the format played out too just led into we had to say goodbye to some of those teams. It was kind of inevitable. We've only got a top 8 here performing at the International, so we were going to have to say goodbye, of course, to 8 teams. And you've talked about, Winter, whether you thought this patch was going to favor them, but I want to see what heroes have been favored this patch, right? We want to see who's the most successful, who's been played the most, because that's something other teams are going to be looking at. They've had a couple of days now to really reflect on the road to the International. That was such an intense 4 days for them. Now they get those 3 days break. And for our most picked heroes, it's really heavily support leaning here with the Disruptor, Bane, Pugner, and Snapfire.
I mean, the heroes here have one thing in common where they have catch and they're really good at the team fights, So basically what's happening right now is you have to play the map. Maybe you don't have a good start, but you're still going to be farming on the corners of the map. So it requires you to have heroes that can catch the enemy heroes because you can't take a direct team fight. But when you are enough, the heroes that can take a direct team fight is obviously also going to be very, very preferred because team fights are very, very important, especially around the objectives, Tormentor, the Wisdom Shrine, everything, So team fight is, I think, the name of the game other than Helm.
Yeah, these are all lane bullies, pretty much, all these supports, Disruptor, Pugna, Bane, Snapfire, and all 3 of those heroes have been picked, you know how many times? 33. I think this is a sign.
It's his year.
It might be the sign.
I love like how into numerology Lacoste is. He's like, I'm just gonna, all the numbers, they just seem to meld together.
This is the astrological.
Yeah, Mercury is in retrograde.
It is definitely in retrograde, yeah.
What star sign are you, Lacoste?
I don't even know.
Let's have a look at our most successful heroes, though. Let's get back on track. Let's keep talking about something we all know and we all want to hear more about. And this is a little bit different, right? Our most picked were the supports favoring, but for our most successful, with over 10 games so far here in the International, road to International, is favoring the cause with a question mark because of that Alchemist.
Yeah, let's talk about the elephant in the room here, guys.
That Shadow Fiend is so broken.
No, everybody's thinking it when they see it. This 9-class Alchemist, I was trying to figure this out. It looked so complicated the way that P-Vision was playing it. Like, this is something that just does not work in pubs because every time 9-class would like clean up some farm somewhere, some core on P-Vision would go and basically like act as a support somewhere else. Like they had, and it was never the same core. Like you couldn't duo queue with a buddy and have them kind of like act as a core that's supporting. It was like whatever core it was convenient for. They were like weaving in and out of like, okay, 9-class, you can have my farm.
I mean, imagine being DM, in this sort of game, it's...
But the thing is,
it works.
It wasn't just DM. It was DM in the laning phase. Don't get me wrong. That guy gets grief, bro. But it was the other cores outside of the laning phase. Like, it just looked like such a complex strategy to play against, which is why I understand why teams are just straight up banning it. They're like, we don't want to play against a team that does this. It's just so weird.
You're a P-Vision enjoyer, though, so I want to hear from Lacoste and Winter as well what they feel about it, right? Because you think they're going the way, Jenkins. So you're like... You're going to hype it up. It's done well, but I want to know if you guys are split, if it's the same as the win rate, if you're 50-50 on this hero.
Well, I think the thing with the Alp as a support is you have to kind of help the support get a good game. So you need to pick an offlaner that enables your support. And usually it's the other way around. You pick a support to enable your core. But in this instance, you kind of have to adjust that. And like Andrew mentioned, DM is kind of already used to it at this point. I have to play for my support. He's the core, I'm the support for the first 10 minutes. And it works out for them, and especially because of the lack of information, you don't get to see what your opponents are practicing right now. So I think this actually helps them a lot in developing all this new tech, so to speak.
They've been called out to be playing dishonest Dota throughout the years, ever since 9 Class started to kind of this trend where he's playing this position for Slark, something that he's on the completely opposite side of the map, going for the careers, just not playing Dota, playing for Vision, being very annoying, forcing any kind of rotation from the enemy team. He shows on the map for a brief second to try to force a rotation, and then he goes away. Like, this is very difficult to deal with, especially in this current meta where we have Helm of the Dominator being the core item, so he's also building into that item, and also being able to cut the waves and just be even more annoying than he was before.
I'm going to be honest. I don't think there is honest Dota anymore. I don't think this exists. Since the Facets patch, like when we looked at the most picked heroes, like just consider Snapfire for a second, right? That hero used to be kind of honest. Now you're getting a talent where you get 2 cookies, you're going for the Aghanim Shard, and you're one-shotting creep waves. It's like there are all of these gimmicks. People are eating the Helm Dong creep and then throwing it in with the Gobble Up. It's like, this
also, the range on Gobble Up is insane too. That also doesn't feel like honest Dota.
This is not honest.
I mean, Snapfire has got to be one of the more honest ones in the current
Out of those heroes, Bane is sleepwalking heroes into towers. Like, we play a very complicated game.
But nothing is dishonest if everything is dishonest,
That's the Dota mentality. That is absolutely true.
It definitely does ring true with it. And so that's the shaping up right now of the heroes we're most likely going to be seeing, whether that's being picked, whether that's going to be banned. But we want to see exactly where our teams are now lined up, that we have our top 8. We are, of course, going to have everyone starting off in this upper bracket. It feels like after such a grueling 4 days of the road to the international, it is only fair, Lacoste, right? These matchups are so close. You're going to have all 8 teams up there. And then, of course, we can talk about our schedule when exactly they're going to be playing. But is there a matchup that you think isn't so easy to predict if you were in your Dota client and trying to look in your predictions right now?
I think there's a lot of them. I would say Tidebound against Falcons is going to be a very close one. China is definitely on the rise, and Falcons also playing pretty much their own style of Dota. They're really not building into that Helm of the Dominator the way they did eliminate Team Spirit as well. Didn't buy a single Helm of the Dom in that game, in both of these games as well, but they looked very dominant. We talked about the meta being some of the longer games as well. This is where Team Falcons really shines.
Would you say that Falcons is an honest team?
No.
In this tournament, would you say that they're an honest team?
No.
They just play their own dishonest Dota.
Exactly.
Well, that was our schedule there. Our day is closing off with BB up against Nigma Galaxy. We've got that Tidebound Falcon series you guys talked about. Of course, second is going to be P-Vision up against Heroic. And to start us off, it is going to be Extreme Gaming up against Tundra. All of the games, in my eyes, are a must-watch, a tune-in. But for you, Jenkins...
I mean, I gotta go P-Vision Heroic.
Yeah, I knew you were.
But the thing is, because also, on the other side, you have Heroic, which I think has surprised a lot of people. Like, they are playing this chaotic, fundamentally South American Dota. Like, it's so good to see it back. Like, Schofield and Whisper are playing Pudge Clockwork offlane. Like, this is some griefing stuff that your friends are playing in Unranked, where it's like, we're not going to win anyway. We're going to play Pudge Clockwork.
Yeah, I mean, they're also Heroic side. They're on an 8-game win streak so far as well. So there's those things you have to think about that's coming into that series.
Oh, they got momentum for sure.
100%. Of course, those heroes that you mentioned there for P-Vision, but that's not the one that we're going to be starting on. It's going to be Extreme Gaming up against Tundra, and so I think it's only fair that before we get into TI, before we get into all those nitty-gritties, we talk about them, just exactly how we can expect this to go, because Tundra having a stand-in in their position 5, Whitemon not here with them, Toby instead, and Extreme Gaming being our 4-0 team, undefeated.
Yeah, Tundra kind of lost the formula. The formula is 4 players plus 1 SEA player.
I wanted to ask about that as the Southeast Asian expert, of course. I feel like Whitemon is potentially the best position 5 in the world. I think a lot of people have held this opinion. If there's one person that you are going to replace him with, I feel like Toby has been the stand-in of the year. He has proven that he is a genuinely very good position 5. People ask, well, why is he not on a team? it's because he's switching to position 5 this year, right? He's learning, but he's learning at a crazy pace, and I feel like he's having a lot of impact in these games.
Yeah, he also has a very wide hero pool right now, and considering he just swapped over for about a year, it's really, really impressive,
Do you feel like making that change is easy? Is making any change in Dota ever easy, really?
I think from the off lane to position 5,
Yeah.
some of the things are kind of overlapping in terms of the item builds, because sometimes on position 5 you build like support items, like aura items to help your team. That's kind of something you do on the off lane as well. Whereas if you compare like switching from mid, say, to carry, I think would be quite different. It's a lot of the things that you do don't really connect to each other.
It definitely depends on the heroes, right? And like Toby's known for like Venomancer off lane, right? Like that's a position 5. So I feel like there was enough that he could play his specialty heroes as position 5 just to start out, and then learn how to play the other heroes by first learning the role, playing his specialty heroes, and then switching into the other heroes.
Yeah, this guy has the most deaths out of any player, average number of deaths.
He went there. He went there. I was trying.
You were, but in a good way. These are tactical deaths that he's providing vision for the team. It does allow the rest of the team to play extremely well. Like, you're killing position 5, but you're really not getting the value out of it because he's collecting the info where the enemies are. And I think Toby has been doing a very good job at making sure that he is securing the lane for Crystallis, because they've been winning most of their lanes.
I mean, look at the team that he's playing with. It's Tundra. Like, these are some of the greediest cores, depending on like what they're playing. If it's like BZM Invoker mid or something like that, off lane Doom, like, you need somebody that's running in and just dying for that team.
Yeah, I think so too. And, he was like a sacrificial off-laner, doing a lot of things for your cause. Now you're playing a sacrificial position 5, doing a lot of things.
I will argue that's actually better, because now you're not doing it on a core role. So he has a least amount of negative impact on the game for your team.
Yeah. The inverse, though, when their opponent's Extreme Gaming, it just feels like they're winning these lanes. They're coming together earlier as a group, and Winter, there's no really stopping what they're trying to achieve. The number advantage almost always is in favor of Extreme Gaming.
Yeah, they're definitely a very, very tough team right now. I think there's like some kind of heroes that you probably have to think about when you're playing against them. But overall, it's very, very difficult to play against them in a game, because they're just so good at the team fights and outmaneuvering you on the map.
Yep, and I think it's worth mentioning, we're talking about position 5s. X-Nova has the world record for D wards over all TIs. Like, this guy...
Which TI was that?
All TIs.
Oh, it's
over.
Right, so like...
He has the world record.
I see.
He's the record holder. So if you're talking in terms of dewarding, like, this guy's the best support in the world for it. Vision game, he will win.
Okay. We can hear a little bit better of a countdown going. Yeah, it's a loud one, right? The horn, Lacoste, do you remember what the horn signifies here at TI?
Yeah, I think it's time. I think it's time.
It's definitely time, guys. It has been 14 years since we had an international in Germany. The very first one. Yeah, it's massive, right? We're back here in Germany again. It has been an unpredictable road to the international so far. I'm sure that journey is going to continue. There's going to be a lot more action. And whilst we've talked a lot about things that have happened and what will come, the one thing I know for certain is that it feels not official yet, that we almost need to open the new chapter on our 14th international.
Some call it fate, others destiny. A meridian that spans the course of cosmic history. Vesting all that was and all that will be. tracing the spark of creation across the eons, into the unseen eternity beyond. balance of fate's meridian is broken, when an inflection point arrives, those who see the true shape of the system might step forward to defy all forces of opposition, to inscribe their own names into the cosmic record, and decide for themselves the course of things to come. The Aegis of Champions. It shines like a beacon, daring us to meet the magnitude of the moment, to join a constellation of greatness, to reach for a horizon beyond which only dreams can see. It bears the record, reminding us of the battles we all hold sacred, the triumphs we still celebrate, the legends we will forever revere. It summons the world's finest contenders, allowing us, empowering us to honor the giants of the past, to realize the magic of the present, to witness the origins of the epic stories of tomorrow. Now we gather at the final proving ground, where the path to victory is ever-changing, but the cheers of the arena will always guide the way. The Aegis of Champions arrives in Hamburg, Germany. A beacon of challenge that shines around the globe. 8 teams compete for ultimate glory. Only one can seize immortality. Who will emerge victorious? The battle begins. And now introducing the finest Dota teams in the world. Heroic! Vision! Team Tidebound! Team Falcons! BB Team! Enigma Galaxy! Tundra Esports! Extreme Gaming!
I'm Gabe Newell. 14 years ago, we held the first international in Cologne, Germany. For me, that first international was awesome. It was awesome to see the skill of the players and the enthusiasm of the community. Before that first international, I really enjoyed the game. But after the international, I loved the game. It's not just the game I love, but the community. Sure, people talk shit at me in chat, and about once a week, people say, hey, noob, uninstall the game and but that's really about their enthusiasm for the game and the energy that they bring. And that's why, after all these years, I still play Dota every day. Now we're back in Germany once more to cheer and celebrate again. Oh man, wäre das ein Spaß. To all the Dota fans who've been with us from day one, to those of you who've joined us along the way, and to any of you who are tuning in for the first time, welcome to the International.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard the man. Thank you so much, Gaben. Welcome to the International 2025 Hamburg!
The International started here in Germany in 2011, and in the past 14 years, we have witnessed some of the most iconic moments in esports, and along the way, inscribed 55 different names onto this Aegis. And no matter who wins here, I can guarantee that at least 3 new names are going to be added to the list.
Absolutely so. No, I mean, nobody could have predicted the teams here today. Literally, none of you guys predicted it. Scientifically proven. Not a single one of you bastards, but anyway, it should be one hell of a TI. We're talking 60-minute games, almost every game. We're going to game 3 all the time. Ladies and gentlemen, this is shaping up to be one of the greatest TIs of all time, baby!
And there was only one thing missing on that road, and that is you. So crowd, Barclays Arena, are you ready? Then let's get the International 14 underway.
The biggest question is my panel ready? Are the viewers at home also ready for what's about to unfold? Because now it's official. Nothing like an opening ceremony, a message from Gabe himself to really get the emotions running and the pressure on Winter.
Yeah, I mean, the players are just going to feel a lot of the heat, but at the same time, we always tell the players, just play the game, don't think about everything else. You have to block out everything and just focus on your duties in the game.
I think you could see it on a lot of their faces, honestly. Like, look at
Really?
Sumail. Sumail was locked in, dude. There's a crowd of 5,000 people here. He was not looking anywhere. He was in the zone.
He was like envisioning the Dota game in front of him.
And they went crazy for Nigma Galaxy.
Nigma Galaxy and Extreme Gaming. But I also game that Aegis fully focused on it. He wants to lift it.
Yeah, I feel like he definitely has to be one of the more locked-in players, right? Because even though all 8 teams are playing today, he's up first, right?
I mean, he definitely knows a thing or two going to the last day, you know. So he is definitely going to want to change the story this time.
Yeah, and I'm sure that's also why he, was locked in the way that he was. The rest of his team as well, though, also standing up there with him, Jin-Q. You can't look past Jin-Q and how cute he looked up there.
You can't. The whole team is so important. But we will talk about Ame because so much of the game is through him. I think there's an understanding of the meta that this team has that other teams in the break needed to look at to see what they're doing. In this meta, you have a lot of heroes that you just can't commit to a fight. There's Silencer, there's Dawnbreaker, there's Dazzle, there's all of these heroes where it's you jump in and they get saved, right? The way that XG takes team fights is they have that vision advantage we talked about with the X-Nova dewarding, and then boom, Ame jumps in on one of these big burst heroes, kills one hero, and then they back off. They play as a complete unit, but in order to do that, in order for them to do those back off plays, he has to be these burst heroes, and I wouldn't be surprised to see other carry players adopting the Ame heroes into their pool.
The toughest thing is you're saying the players they've had this time, they should have gone back and looked at what Extreme Gaming were doing. But the thing is they played the least amount of series and one of the least amount of games as well, Lucas. So where are you even beginning to look at how to break down such a dominant team?
You need to shut down Ame. In all 10 games that they did play, they last pick his hero. So this is their win condition. And one of the reasons why Jenkins was talking about that Ame has this explosive game, he's playing these explosive heroes that can go in, can shut down pretty much anyone, the burst, because we're seeing a lot of these longer fights, we're seeing a lot of these longer games as well. Extreme Gaming is a team that is a bit slower on the side, like they have 3 games over 60 minutes. They did play that 78-minute game against Falcons, which they did win. They did win all 3 of those games. So a bit of a slower team compared to Tundra, who is a bit of a faster team.
I think they're slow because they pick and choose their fights really well. And they always have like multiple ways to win a team fight. It's not just like one condition. It's they give themselves enough conditions that if they get the vision, if they see an opening, that they can actually take it. But that requires like an insane amount of synergy between the players on the team and trust.
I mean, on top of that, I don't really feel like it's just them being slow. I think the meta is slower as well. So it's not like they're intentionally trying to play slow.
Yeah.
Like the game just feels more natural when you're being more patient, taking the objectives, and you have team fight. You don't really worry so much about, oh, if I lose the lane, I don't have anywhere to go on the map because the map is just so big right now.
I think the map is big, and also let's just like once again, there's a lot of elephants in this room that we need to talk about. When there's like 2 Dominator creeps running around cutting creep waves, like yeah, it takes a while to push towers. There's no creeps taking the backdoor protection off. You have to kill the creep first, then get a creep wave to the tower, then push the tower. This is a 3-step process. It's not exactly easy.
I mean, it kind of incentivizes heroes that can kill off the creeps, right? You've been saying to me that that's why Nature's Prophet's good, because you can kind of TP in from anywhere and you can kill the creep, deal with the problem without moving too many heroes to one side of the map.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, you TP globally, like you also mentioned it, that the heroes that can actually kill the creep are carries, and you don't want your carry wasting a very long cooldown TP scroll to go somewhere and kill the creep. So a hero like Nature's Prophet that can just do it for free on a 20-second cooldown, like that's great. And by the way, the creep can't get a Quelling Blade. It can't get out a Sprout, so that's really nice. Another reason that Nature's Prophet is overpowered, there's not enough of those in today's day and age.
Well, look, who really knows, right? Sometimes we think something is overpowered, we let it through, we don't actually see the result we expect, and something we can expect, though, is for our series to start very soon. We've already seen our teams out on stage, but now we want to welcome them to the stage. We want to bring them out, put them in those booths, and of course, we're going to start with our very first team, Extreme Gaming.
And we're back.
Extreme Gaming!
And we're back.
Our only undefeated team coming out of the road to the international playoffs. 4-0 series wins here. The uncrowned king leading his team to the booth. One of the longest game links we've seen at a TI as well. Will they change? Was the 4-day break in their favor or against it? The biggest questions are still up for grabs. And the biggest thing that I really want to know is their opponent also ready to take the stage?
Choose wisely and crush those responsible. Tundra Esports. Choose wisely and crush those responsible.
Moments away of elimination just a couple of days ago. It brings the question, what has changed for them? A massive stand-in for themselves in their position 5 with Kobe now joining the squad and the sole potential 3-time TI winner there in 33. There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot these players are having to live up to. And so I have to ask my panel here just exactly where we can put our expectations and our predictions for Extreme Gaming up against Tundra.
This one is not easy. I feel like Extreme Gaming has shown that they played the best Dota so far this year, but also Tundra, they should not be underestimated. Even though they don't have, you did say that he is the best 5 in the world. Whitemon is not here, but he filled the shoes really well. Toby is playing really good Dota, and you have 33. One of the greatest, if not the greatest mind of Dota that we ever had, because this guy is going to try to break the game. We saw it during TI 2022 when they won it with Tundra, the rate back. Now we're seeing the same thing with potentially this Helm of the Dominator strat that they've been running very successfully with this BZM Invoker that did win every single game. He builds into Helm, he builds into Drums Alacrity, then you have another Helm from the offlane plus potentially a pipe, and they know how to close out the games quickly.
If there's any player that I really trust when it comes to like breaking down
it's this guy.
his own team and like how strong they are in the current meta, it's 33. You know, he has said that they in the past few patches they've kind of struggled to find an identity, and they didn't perform as well as what we just saw on the screen there in their hugely dominant first year. But in this tournament, it looks like they have found an identity. They're picking SK again. They're picking Earthshaker mid. I feel like this team is really successful when they have scaling heroes, when they're able to pick scaling heroes on all of their cores. And it's because they're a bunch of specialty players, right? You have the BZM Invoker that we just talked about. They've got Crystallis on all of his level 30 Dota plus carries. Like, if they can play a meta where all of the roles can scale, then they can pick the best hero in the best position and then give that to the scaling player and then win the game through that way. So I think the meta really favors Tundra right now, and I think they know it as well.
Yeah, and if you're comparing the matchups, like XG is a little bit slower than Tundra. I think Tundra is really good at hitting specific timings with their heroes, and using the Helm of Dominator, I think they are probably going to be able to try to stop the game from going too long, where it enters Extreme Gaming's territory, and I think they have a really, really good shot here at doing that, you know, in the current meta and how everything is really revolving around the Helm of Dom and the auras right now.
Yeah, I think another strength for them as well as we talk about, you know, the fact that Toby's standing in, they just kind of have to find that flow for themselves. It's a little bit of a change up, but this is technically the 5th new player they've had on their roster since last TI, right? There's been a lot of changes, a lot of iterations, and I think a lot of the time that actually favors Tundra quite a lot. It keeps a lot of things fresh for them. I think it's a lot of effort and a lot of stress though on their coach Moon, where we haven't really turned eyes to yet.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like, I remember when Dyrachyo was playing with Tundra, and my first thought was like, how is this going to work? Dyrachyo's crazy, man. Yeah. That kid is nuts. Playing with 33, one of the most calm, cool, collected guys. And then seeing them together, it's like the jokes that 33 was making with Dyrachyo, they're not PG. I can't even say them here, you know? And it's like he switches his personality to make his players comfortable. Like, genuinely, I know we always talk about 33 as like one of the greatest minds of all time, one of the greatest offlaners of all time, but he's also one of the greatest captains of all time, like integrating players into the team. So I think if there's any team that's going to win with the stand-in, it's either Liquid, they're out, or Tundra.
What about Extreme Gaming? They have a stand-in too. X-Nova, I think a lot of people are kind of glossing over that right now. He did play with them in their previous tournament, which was a whole month ago, but he was a stand-in there. So right now, we're seeing this team going undefeated winter, and then we're also forgetting that they do have a new player on their roster too.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, X-Nova, he's not like a new guy, you know, for them. They've played together before, and on top of that, I felt like the synergy that he has with Army is probably better than when Army was playing with Poloson, because they're both very different players. X-Nova is very, I think, more defensive, like in a way where he protects the core a lot more, so you see a lot more smoke tanks, you know, he's really just trying to make sure Army can farm, whereas when they were playing with Poloson, they were playing more for the kills and trying to attack the enemy more, you know.
It's like Marana every game, like that sort of thing, like distracting on the other side of the map and then making space for Army, which sometimes doesn't work.
That kind of feels better, for the Ame's playstyle to work, where you're just sitting back and just waiting for your timings.
So you think he's hitting timings better because of this slight change up in which position 5 he's laning?
I don't think position 5 is a slight change up. Out of all the 5 roles, I think if you were to have a stand-in to swap a role and it's easy to adjust, it's the mid lane, because you don't have to interact with your side lane, your duo. I think when you change a duo, it takes time to get used to the other person. The other person has different habits. You have to learn it. The way he speaks is different. So there are a lot of things that comes into play.
You said that Tundra did change a lot of players throughout the year, but one thing they didn't change is the offlane duo. Like, this is the stable for a good reason, and whenever we talk about the offlane duos, this duo comes to mind to a lot of people because they have been so stable throughout the years as well. Saksa and 33, I don't think it gets better than this. When you're laning against them, this might be the most difficult duo in Dota to lane against, because they will always try to find something, try to break the game. If you're playing into unfavorable matchup, you will find a way how to play it.
Exactly. I mean, look at these top 3 offlane combos, right? Like, a lot of these heroes are gimmicky. They will find farm in some way. 33 playing Darkseer farming stacks, Sand King farming stacks. These are all stack farmers, essentially. And I totally agree. I think the most annoying thing about playing against 33 and Saksa is that even if they have a bad lane, like heroes that are not good at laning together, they still find some way to farm by cutting creep waves, putting a sentry ward in the tier 2 to aggro the first wave of creeps so they get a lane advantage. There's always some sort of trick that they can pull out to get a good lane.
Yeah, I mean, not to mention as well, I think for the draft and for the overall strategy, a lot of the plays start on your offlaner, right? If your offlaner gets a really good start, it becomes very easy to play the map because your carry will just gate and gank, the lane's pushing, the Karti's coming in, you take the tower, everything feels natural, right? So I think a lot of the game starts from the offlane, so you have to really have like a foundation of the draft and strategy based on your offlaner. That's why they don't want to change things too much in that regard.
Yep, and he's very familiar with building Helm of the Dominator / Overlord. Even on the heroes, when it was not popular, he was always playing like these micro heroes, his Visages, his Broodmothers, Lycans, Beastmasters, and I gotta say, I've been very impressed with his Doom as well, because he's building it the Helm of the Dominator as well. And this is the word that we're going to be saying quite a lot, because this is something that is kind of OP right now. It is a bit imba, but you do go for another aura, and then you get an aura, you eat the creep, so you have 2 auras, and then you can get maybe a pipe from the offlaner as well if necessary.
I mean, the thing is, you call him an offlaner, but is he an offlaner? He just feels like another carry in the game.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Like, Dota is just so different right now. There's like just side laners and mid laners, and even the supports feel kind of similar in what you actually do. There's like no specific role for the 4 and 5. You just do what it feels right in the game. You build items if you need to build items. It's no longer like, oh, you're position 5, you're not allowed to farm. This is your quota for the game and you can't exceed it,
I mean, especially with the games going the length that we're seeing it, right? I feel like this average of 55 minutes, you almost want your support to start looking towards that later game for themselves.
You have the license to farm.
Yeah, you want some sort of scaling plan.
Yes.
Something to
get one of the support.
Something to get to the late game, and then to actually use the fact that you're in the late game. I would like to propose, we've talked a lot about the side lanes. I would like to propose we go to the mid, because
I'll let you do that.
It's a formal proposal.
When it's more important, because right now the thing that is important for us is the fact we are getting our very first TI Series Game 1 draft.
Extreme Gaming versus Tundra Esports Game 1.
Let's see what these teams have been brewing over the last few days. If we're going to see a shift in what is popular, what works winter, and just exactly if the teams want to start changing up their priority for pick order, where we feel the importance on that is.
Yeah, talking about pick order, I kind of feel like it's easier to be on the first pick side because of the overall, I think even in the first phase, the bans, because you have the last ban and you go into your first pick, I think that's kind of nice to have. And obviously also the 18th pick, which helps you decide your overall strategy. I kind of like to be on the first pick side more, because nowadays teams are really good at banning out heroes that are really good for you. So you rarely see like, oh, that's a really good 24th pick, overall last pick that actually just going to win them the game,
And something to touch upon is you talked about the games going long. You want to have this position 5 that really scales well into the late game. There's this one guy, one hero that is the most picked hero of the tournament, and that's Disruptor. He has the most amazing Aghanim Scepter upgrade in the game, which can turn the whole game around. So that's why we're seeing it being picked so much, because once you get to that timing, you always know that you have some kind of a play that can turn the whole fight around.
Oh, there you go. That's the first Helm hero here. Right now, Beastmaster. Very, very oppressive hero if you give him a good lane.
This does leave Nature's Prophet in the pool. There's some very strong heroes that are still left in.
I mean, you're definitely thinking about
Monkey King is also there.
The lane, you know, I think you want to give Beastmaster a hard time, you know, when you open up the draft with Beast, you definitely want to at least consider slowing him down for the start so that his aura items come up slower.
Is this Beastmaster more straightforward for a team of Extreme Gaming? Because we know others are willing to flex it between that mid or that off lane. Does that archetype also fit to them?
Probably not so much, I think, for Extreme. I think to them it's mostly going to be the offlane. Yeah, the offlane hero. Whereas right now we are seeing this Lycan and Beastmaster. I mean, the story of the tournament, right? All the Helm heroes coming out early, and you're going to have to deal with it. I mean, this is definitely going to be one interesting game, you know, so Battle of the Helms.
Both teams have picked the Helm hero. Now both teams need to pick the counter to the Helm hero. You need both.
Or do you just go, as long as we have more Helm heroes than them, we'll win?
I mean, it's also the supports, right? You see the opening picks, and you're definitely thinking what supports works well with Beast, what enables the Beast, and what enables the Lycans, you know, because both sides are probably going to be looking at similar heroes to pick for the laning phase, and this is going to be an interesting one. Like, what do you ban out? And with Tundra coming out to pick first in the next phase, they're going to have the upper hand in picking the support they want.
I really like the Pugna Beastmaster matchup. I feel like even if Beast does end up going for the Aghanim Scepter build, like decrepping and healing the hero who gets roared is always a very good counter, and this is a hero that Toby has been playing a lot.
Yeah, I mean, there's also like a hero like Wyvern, which didn't really get picked much. I was kind of surprised that the hero didn't get a lot of spotlight, because it seems like it's definitely good. It's good now, right?
It's a strong hero. With the recursive facet, I see a lot of, or actually
even with the other one,
facets.
yeah, even with the defensive one on the towers, I think
healing the towers, yeah.
Yeah, that is also a really good option, because it gives your core damage, you know, when you come out of the core embrace.
Yeah.
Supports don't really like to play, I would say, in this meta. No, especially after seeing two of the openers. You have Beastmaster with all the summons. You have Lycan as well. You got to be building into defensive. Like, you got to start thinking about. I think Pugna is a really good suggestion for both teams. But Lycan, he also builds into relatively early nullifiers, so it makes it almost impossible for supports to play the game. This is why this hero is so aggressive. He has a really good timings as well.
Yeah, that's why it's really important to pick a good lane matchup into the Lycan. You really need to slow him down as much as you can, and SD is the first one that comes out. Really good counter towards the Beast. You can save the Raw, and he's also one of those heroes where he can kind of defend the tower against the Helm, because he can wave shove. And wave shove is also something that's really, really important if you're playing support nowadays, because if you can't wave shove, you're talking about the game going long, and you can't farm and you can't scale. And this is one of the better scaling supports, if not the best scaling supports in the game right now.
Why is it one of the best?
Yeah, because of the axe and because of the BKB piercing disable. Like, if you're a carry, right, and you see SD, you're like, oh, I can't play Lifestealer, I can't play Ursa, you know, Omni can, but it's going to be very...
Ah, there's the Wyvern.
Yeah, there we go. Winter Wyvern here. It's a very, very good hero against the Lycan. I mean, for obvious reasons, you counter him with the ulti, you counter with the Cold Embrace. Nullifier doesn't work against the Cold Embrace. Interested to see which facet actually he goes for. I would probably prefer the defensive one more.
I mean, I will say it's not a totally free Wyvern game, though. SD, you can save from Wyvern ulti.
Yep.
But I think the reason that Extreme is picking it is not necessarily just for the Winter Wyvern ult. It's, like you guys mentioned, it's for the heal and the save, right?
You defend the towers as well.
Yeah, just delaying kills a little bit by preventing the physical damage, and then also delaying the tower push that Lycan is inevitably going to bring against you.
You know, one of the biggest counters to Wyvern is a hero we haven't really seen, I think, Skyrath. Co-embrace and you put your ulti on top.
That hero's legitimately
okay.
good.
Yeah, he's in an okay spot. I think any kind of magic damage that's going to be coming out from Tundra is going to be really good. Both of the teams don't really have, I would say, that much control, especially on the side of Tundra. Lycan, Shadow Demon, these heroes are relatively easily exploited. So far, we haven't seen the big hero pool from XM. We have seen only 4 heroes with Storm Spirit, Leshrac, Shadow Fiend, and Puck. Puck has been banned, but anything elusive could really work out for them. For now, this Tiny, he can go anywhere. He can go mid, he can go to position 4 lane with the Beastmaster. It's an okay lane. It's not like super strong, but it gives Beastmaster a stun in the lane as well.
I do want to go back quickly to the Winter Wyvern for you. The one time that had been picked so far here, they went for the Winterproof facet, which is the Cold Embrace one.
Yeah, the defensive one. I think it's actually kind of better, at least for me, you know, when I play that hero, I feel like it's...
Oh, of course you think Winterproof.
Yeah, haha, of course. And here we go, Storm. This is one of the better heroes against the Wyvern because you can find him when he's flying around the trees.
I think they were also going to get stormed as well. XG wanted Storm, so Tundra's also picking it to...
The 16-17 pick is the most, I think, difficult part of the draft for the second pick because you are already considering what heroes are going to be picked at 18 because 18 is really good for the first pick side. And so you have to be prepared for that. So most of the times, like Andrew said, you try to pick a hero that also blocks that hero.
Yeah, and I like if you're picking Storm, I like Silencer Storm when you're picking in a difficult situation like this because all the heroes that get countered or that counter Storm get countered by Silencer. So like this is usually how teams try to operate in this situation. Like you know that you're going to get the Storm countered, right? So you need to pick something which counters those counters.
Do you think that's something that's leading into Storm not really having a good win rate right now? It's only sitting at 35% in this tournament.
Maybe. I think some teams are good at like picking these heroes and knowing and how to play the heroes which counter. Instead, they go for the Warlock, more of like a team fight hero. It's very strong against a Beastmaster in lane.
Fatal Bonds.
Fatal Bonds the boar, right? And you can push the wave out. Beast doesn't really like that.
It's a really good combination with Lycan. You kind of work really well with each other in the team fights. Lycan runs in, gives you space to drop the rock on. And Troll is one of the better matchups into the Lycan.
It's a really good Troll game. This hero is undefeated so far. He has won 7 out of 10 games. 7 games, I believe.
I mean, his only issue here, I think, is the Shadow Demon. Shadow Demon is the one that can actually make life...
actually 8 games.
Yeah, can make life very hard for the Troll. But he's going to have to probably rely on his teammates like the Tiny or the Beast to kind of deal with the Shadow Demon.
Yeah, I'm going to rely on you guys for this knowledge. This Troll, being an Arme hero, is one of the very few times that we do not see an Arme last pick. It is something, even when they've been second pick, they still save him until very last in the draft.
18 is like I feel like the most influential pick in the first pick phase, you know, so play really fast when you hit your timings. And I think the heroes that are good against Troll are not exactly very, very good here. I mean, I'm thinking of maybe like something like Faceless Void that's really good late game, but Faceless Void has problems.
Into Wyvern.
Yeah, into the other heroes, you know. So they kind of have a lot of their bases covered here with the first 4 picks. And there's also the Slug, I think, which is kind of like a decent matchup against Troll, but it's not exactly a Slug meta, but it will fit their nighttime draft. You know, you have Slug plus Lycan.
I just love that in these like high-level games, you see like Troll picked into SD, which is traditionally considered a counter, but they just have so much confidence that their other heroes can
do their jobs
and deal with the SD that it's otherwise a very free Troll game. This is why they ban Bloodseeker. Very good against Troll, very good also against Pangolier, and they have absolutely secured the team fights here for them, even against Warlock. Like nothing deals with Pango right now. Like there's no BKB piercing disable. What are you going to rock him for a single second out of
you also don't have the damage. At least you don't have the damage to kill Pango.
I mean, there's only Faceless Void, right? Like with the Diation and the Chrono. I don't see anything else that can kind of deal with the role. But then again, their lineup will be very, very slow.
Oh, what about some Carry Doom to stop the healing coming through? It's very good against Troll.
It is, yeah.
But it is also very slow.
The only issue there for me is like, you don't do anything against Pango. You doom him when he's rolling, and he just keeps rolling, right? Like, I feel like you're totally happy being a Pango in a game against a Doom. I like the Faceless Void, but there's counters. Razor's also there. They picked the Jug. Okay.
This is a statement. If we talked about throughout the whole year, one of the more staple heroes for Ame, it has been Jug. He tried to make it work for such a long time, and now they last picked Jug against Ame's Troll Warlord.
I mean, I kind of feel like it's gonna be so tough for the Jug though. Like there's Curse, that's raw, and then you have the Rolling Thunder, which you don't really do much to it. I mean, sure you can Omni Slash him, but the thing is, I feel like Jug has a lot of counters already in the game with the Raw and the Wyvern, Co-Embrace, and the Curse itself, you know. And against Troll, it's like he doesn't care if you Omni Slash him, he just needs to click his R.
They have no control. They have like no silences. This Troll, I feel like he's gonna pop off. Extreme Gaming, they have overall better team fight, I would say, with Rolling Thunder, with Winter Wyvern, Troll. They don't have that burst damage that he's gonna be afraid of. Sure, there's some kiting coming up from Shadow Demon, but he can survive long enough because of all these reset mechanics that they do have on Extreme.
Yeah, Jenkins, you said even before you saw the last pick of Tundra that Extreme Gaming had secured the team fight. Does the Jug alter that formula for you in any way, or it's still very straightforward?
I think that Extreme still has the team fight secured.
Yeah.
But Tundra now at least has like scaling options in the game. You know, like Juggernaut with Omni Slash, he will full to zero any hero. Like if some heroes are orchided, they will die. So they have play options because whenever you have damage, you always have play options. But I agree, it's not like a free Jug game by any means.
Yeah, I think the execution level is definitely higher for Tundra's lineup, whereas for XG is, I think, pretty straightforward with their heroes. You get some auras, you have Dagger on your Wyvern, you group together, your Troll's hitting the tower, everyone's behind him, it's straightforward, right? Whereas for Tundra, they're gonna have to juke and jive, you have to use the Storm, find the Wyvern, you have to farm your items on Jug and Lycan. It's not a straightforward game for them.
Yeah.
In the earlier part of it, though, Lacoste, we're talking about just how strong we're feeling the safe lane is for XG and also how strong the off lane is for Tundra. So now with heroes in those placeholders, does it feel like it favors one way or the other?
Now, Extreme Gaming, they have a very strong safe lane. You have Troll against Lycan with the Winter Wyvern. You're not losing that lane.
Okay, at all. Anything else that you guys want to put out there before we get to know some more information from the coach?
I will say I think Jug's generally like an underrated hero. I was seeing it in pro-level pubs up until TI, so I feel like some players just have a read that it's a really good hero and people are not valuing it high enough.
Okay. And Winter?
I think Jug is going to...
Wait, did we see what facet the Winter Wyvern went?
No, but I think Jug is not going to do much this game, so I'm not going to agree with Andrew here.
Okay, alrighty. We've heard it all that we can from our panel right now, but we're going to get some more words from one of our coaches with Tsunami.
Thank you very much. Yes, I am joined by Jawa, the coach of Extreme, and Helen will be helping me translate. It is the first game of TI 14 here on the main stage, and more than the game, I'm quite interested in your hair. Ame's got lavender hair, X-Nova's got blonde hair, you've got red hair. What's the story behind this?
本次比赛主舞台第一场比赛，我们更关注的是你们的发色很有趣。阿妹的发色是淡蓝色的，然后Xnova 的是黄色的，你的是红色的，是有什么故事吗？
没有，我们三个就集合训练的时候不约而同发现大家都染头发。
There's no story, but after we arrived at the boot camp, we noticed that we have different hair colors.
Wow, the synergy on this team, even without community.
Saya kira, saya dulu. Nah, kira sing ngejak Dota, nek sing ngejak. Sahrul iki lho ngejak main Dota. Bas.
Oi.
Sahrul ngejak main Dota. Wis PUBG lah, PUBG. Bingung anjir. Kayak mangga enak sing ngejak main saiki wae ngejak bareng-bareng.